So hello everyone, welcome to this all levels yoga class. This class is going to be on finding presence in these turbulent times. So we're all feeling a lot right now. Many of us are feeling happy that we get to turn in and be introverts, and then some of us are feeling like we're going a little stir crazy, and maybe a mix of the two. So I wanted this practice to be a practice of being fully present in your body. And this might be new to you, or maybe it's something you're more used to. Either way, I just encourage you to show up today and work with as much presence as you can. And one of the most amazing tools to be in the present moment is the breath. So I've even been noticing how I'm trying to kind of fill my time and busy myself. And what I'm noticing is that I'm doing that partially because I don't want to feel what's there. So it can be scary to feel, because then we might feel fear, we might feel anxiety, we might feel there's some depression present. So I want to encourage you to give that space and just let this next hour be a time for you to be with yourself, to nourish your body, and to be as present as possible. Because I was so inspired by a talk by Eckhart Tolle on YouTube on presence. And when we're in the present moment, fear cannot be present. So as soon as we are in a place of fear, it means we're not in the present moment. So the practice of breathing, and breathing as we're going to move today, can help you be a practice for being in the present moment. And then you can take little times in your day and just stop and breathe, right? And feel your body. And that's what we're going to work on today. So I just want to welcome all levels. Please take care of yourself in this practice. If you need a modified variation, I'm going to be offering lots, so listen to your body and keep coming back. We're going to work fully on keep continually coming back into the breath. You might get sick of me talking about the breath. And in particular, we're going to work on the bottom of the exhalation today, just to help us ground in and drop down into the foundation of our bodies. Okay, so we're going to start in a child's pose. And you can bring the knees apart, and I have a bird in the background, so you're going to hear the bird. Usually I put her outside, but it's snowing and cold. So you're going to have the knees apart, feet together, and rest your forehead down on the floor. And you're simply going to focus on your breath in the back of your body. So we have 3 lobes in our lungs. And the lower lobes of the lungs are in the back, primarily filling up the back space of the rib cage and chest. So just let your awareness go into the back ribs, the back body. And I want you to just notice how your breath is in this moment. Notice if it's shallow. Notice if it's gets stuck anywhere, if it feels more restricted anywhere. Just be the observer in these first few moments as you come down and in. This position actually brings us into ourselves. It's the child's pose. It's a pose that brings us down and in, basically. So just allow yourself to be in and notice what's present for you now. And then we'll slowly inhale, come on up, and we're going to make our way onto all fours and start with some cat-cow stretches. Inhaling, look up, and exhale, curl and round. Pushing into the hands and rounding this upper part of the back. And then inhaling, focus on the front of the body opening, front of the spine, chest, throat. Exhale, curl and round. Go ahead and move at your own pace. Inhaling, arch. Exhale and round. 2 more breaths. Inhale. And exhale. Pressing through the arms. Inhale. Arch with the tailbone. And exhale, fully round, opening up the back of the chest, back of the heart. Inhale back to neutral. Walk your feet together, knees together, tuck the toes under, and sit back on your heels. And if it's too much, just take the hands here. Otherwise, squeeze the heels in towards each other. Interlace the hands, stretch the palms forward. Inhale the arms up overhead. So you want to try to avoid overarching the back here. So I'm going to draw those lower ribs in and drop your tailbone towards your heels as you reach your arms up. And we'll start right here, just noticing, being present with the sensations. Really, this is what yoga is about, is listening, feeling, being present with what is. And then exhale, release your arms down. We'll go ahead and take the fingertips to the right, stretch the left arm up and over. And if it's too much on your feet at this point, you can come onto the tops of the feet and stretch sideways. And up and over to the other side. Inhale, come all the way up. And then we'll go ahead from here and come back onto the feet. Separate your feet hip distance apart. And lift and spread your toes, especially the little toes. You can reach down and spread open the webbing of the feet. Yeah. And then on the exhale, just come into a ragdoll pose. Let your head shake forward and back, side to side. Take a deep full breath in, and on the exhale, let it all go. Release your jaw, your mouth. And then on the inhale, slowly roll all the way up to standing. And we're going to reach the arms wide. On the inhale, exhale, reach back, interlace the hands. Inhale, open your chest. Exhale, fold forward. We loop the shoulders back and down and let the back of the neck lengthen towards the floor. And slowly pressing through the legs, inhale, come on up to standing. Walk your feet together and bring your hands together in prayer position. Close your eyes, please. And just take a moment here. Notice what's present in your physical body. Notice what's present in your emotional body. So be real with yourself. Maybe there's some anxiety or tension in your physical body. Notice the state of your mind. Maybe it's thinking in the future. Maybe it's thinking about something that happened in the past. It's all okay. We're just gonna begin to notice and become aware. And try to give it all space with your breath. So come into presence, full presence. Deep breath in. And then on the exhale, release your arms down by your sides. And just inhale, stretch the arms up to the sky. And exhale, reach up and over. Take a hold of your left wrist, reach up and over to your right. So you want to move the top of the thigh bones back and root the tailbone towards the earth to stabilize the lower body. Inhale, come on up. Exhale to the other side. Inhale, reach the arms up to the sky. Look to your thumbs and turn the palms out. Exhale, fold forward and just bow. Inhale, look up, turn sideways. Halfway lift, hands on the shins. And on your exhalation, step your left leg back into a low lunge. You need a little padding. You can always fold the mat over. And inhale, come on up. Hands to your hips. And just take a moment. Use your hands to squeeze the outer hips in towards each other to create some stability. Drop your tailbone towards the earth and then soften in. Soften your hips towards the ground. And you can let this left knee, right knee come a little bit forward of the ankle. That's totally fine when the back knee is down. And then you'll inhale, sweep the arms up, hook your thumbs together. And breathe. And notice that first sensation that you need in your physical body. So maybe it's here in the hip flexors, that's where it is for me. And then just see if you can go to that first sensation and wait for the opening. Be present with the sensation. Inhale. One more breath, look up. And then exhale, release the hands, and we'll scoot our right foot over to the side of the mat and take both hands down to the inside of the foot. And you'll just take a few breaths here, maybe even sliding your hips side to side, forward and back. And then find that sweet edge right in the middle and just breathe. Don't try to get anywhere, push anything, manipulate. I want you to just take a moment and drop in and breathe. And feel that the energy of downward flowing kind of earthiness through your hip area. Then inhale, we'll come back onto all fours. And exhale, the other foot forward. Okay, and then we'll start here with the hands on the hips. This time I have you bring your thumbs onto your sacrum, this triangle-shaped bone at the lower back. Just bring your thumbs here onto these bony landmarks and feel those bony landmarks. Draw the belly in, stabilize the hips. And then as you exhale, just soften in, relax. Drop, release. And as you drop, you're going to begin to feel a natural lift, a natural uprising, opening the chest, throat. Hook the other thumb and take a few breaths here. Breathe into where you feel the opening, the stretch, the resistance. Gorgeous. Exhale, hands to the floor. We'll step right back onto all fours. Yeah, come into another cat-cow, opening your chest. Exhale, curl and round, belly to spine, press through the arms, chin to chest. Inhale back to neutral, take a big step forward with your hands. Then we'll tuck the toes under, lift the hips, and slide your way back to downward dog. So we'll take our first dog pose here, knees bent, stretch back through the outer hips, the inner legs. You want to really open up the spinal column here. And then at the same time, grip your finger pads. So press, anchor from the base of the thumb, base of the index finger, all the way up to the back of the heart. And then keep your right knee bent, extend your left heel to the floor. And take a few breaths here. So you should feel a nice stretch along this whole back line of the leg. There's a continuous fascial connection here from the sitting bones all the way down to the heel, the calcaneus. And then inhale and exhale to the other side. Maintain a steady breath. Great, and then come back up onto both toes and lift your heels as high as they'll go. And see if you can feel the sitting bones lifting way up to the sky. Now keep that length as you exhale. Drop the heels back and down just for a breath. And then we'll walk the hands all the way back here to the feet. Come back into a ragdoll. Let your head sway side to side. Let go of the shoulders. Relax any jaw tension, facial tension. Beautiful. And then we're going to round the back as we come on up to standing. And take the feet together. We'll come into a mountain pose here, samastitihi. You can notice your posture. Notice how you're standing in your feet. And then see if you can come into balanced action in your feet. So the four corners of your feet are equally anchored, equally grounded. And then from there, the energy rises up the inner arches, through the inner legs. to connect up to the front of your spine, lifting all the way up, and then just feel your head come right back onto your spine. Relax your shoulders, relax your jaw, and simply breathe. Let your body find its natural inner alignment. And then we'll step our way up to the top of our mats. We're going to move through a couple of sun salutations. So you'll find that same mountain pose, Samastitihi, at the top of your mats. Arms by your sides. Exhale your breath all the way out, and then inhale. Reach the arms up overhead. Look to your thumb. Bring your hands right down your center line, and exhale, fold forward. Inhale, gently rest the hands on the shins. Lengthen, lift, spinal elongation. Exhale the left leg back into a lunge. Release your back knee to the floor. Good. Inhale, sweep the arms all the way up overhead just for one crescent lunge. Exhale, bow forward. Step back onto all fours. And from here, lower down. Elbows in. You're going to reach with your chest. And then once your chest gets there, slide through to cobra. Just take a few breaths here, burrowing your hips. Work the shoulders back. All 10 toes are spreading wide. And then exhale, lower, press back through. And take a moment and pose of the child. And then make your way back to downward facing dog. And take a breath or two here. And see if you can let the structure of your skeleton line up so that the joints are lined up. Let the outer layers of your body soften and drape over the inner layers. And take in another full breath. Exhale all the breath out. Right, and then we'll step the left foot between the hands, back knee to the floor. Just one full breath in. Crescent lunge. Exhale, hands to the floor. Step all the way forward. Inhale, halfway lift. And on an exhale, bow, turning in. Press firmly into the mat as you inhale, rise back up. And exhale, hands to your heart. We're just going to keep moving in this continuous flow. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, shoulders back, lengthen. Exhale, forward fold. Step your right leg back. And inhale, crescent lunge. Doggies are welcome. Exhale, hands to the floor. And step back onto all fours, or you can take the option of a plank pose. So legs are straight, strong, heart is melted, but don't let the belly collapse. Good, and then from here, lower down, either knees bent or straight legs. Inhale into cobra. Exhale, press back through the knees, and then make your way back to downward dog. Good, and then spread up in the hands, spread up in your feet. Just take a moment when you come first into the pose and breathe, soften, feel the whole energy of the pose through your body. Where can you let go more? Where can you engage more? There's a sweet balance that yoga continuously invites us to. The effort and the surrender. And following your exhalation all the way out, step the other foot forward, back knee down. Inhale, crescent lunge. Rooting to rise, deepening to open. Exhale, hands to the floor. Step all the way forward, halfway lift, lengthening. Exhale, bow. Inhale, lead with your heart center. Sweep your arms to the sky. On the exhale, hands to your heart center. And turn inside for a moment. Just feel. Come into full presence. Notice what's revealing itself in your body. Notice the quality of your breathing. And follow your exhalation all the way out. And just feel this gentle rooting of the tailbones. Almost like there's a little weight hanging off the tail, rooting the heels. Beautiful. And then we'll bend the knees and reach the sitting bones back and the fingertips to the floor. Great. And then from here, you want to bring your arms up by your ears. If you have any neck issues, you're just going to keep your gaze down. Otherwise, look towards your thumb. And there's the balance of tailbone back, pubic bone back, tailbone forward. One more breath here. Inhale, exhale, fold forward and release. And just shake it out. And inhale, look up halfway. Exhale, step your left leg back. This time we'll keep that back leg lifting and strong. So you want to really radiate energy from the hip down out through the heel. And then come down into this front leg, front heel. So grounding through the front heel. Good, then inhale, sweep the arms up. Doesn't matter how high the arms get up. I'd rather see the back leg strong. And then exhale. Set your left hand down, right arm up to the sky. We'll take a nice gentle spinal twist. For 2 or 3 or 4 breaths. And then you're going to exhale, release, and walk on over to the side, all the way over to the other side, coming up onto the back toes, and inhale, hands onto the thigh, and just pause here for a moment. This is a great opportunity right here to ground, right? So to soften, to exhale and ground. And then you want to create lots of energy through the back leg, front heel is grounded. Inhale, gracefully sweep the arms up. Exhale, bow. Right hand inside the foot, left arm to the sky. One more inhale to lengthen your spine. Exhale, twist. Inhale, release, and walk back over. Turn your feet parallel here and take a big breath in, looking up. Smile. And then on the exhale, we fold in. And you'll bring your hands about shoulder width apart, elbows at a 90-degree angle. And then the shoulder blades roll down away from the ears as the head releases. So make sure the weight is balanced evenly from front to back here. And just take your last couple of breaths with the awareness of the quad muscles engaged, hamstrings engaged, and then the torso and spine are relaxed. Inhale, look up halfway. Exhale, take our hands to our hips, and then root down to slowly rise up. Good, you guys. And then we'll turn the right foot out. Inhale, arms wide. Exhale, bend your front knee right over your ankle. So you can see my front leg doesn't have to be at a perfect 90-degree angle, right? But you don't want the knee going forward of the ankle in this pose. It can put a lot of stress on the knee joint. Outer to the back foot, grounding and anchoring, and then turn your gaze over the fingertips and breathe. Yeah, find your exhalation. So we embody the energetics of warrior, which is strong core, right? Open, strong spine, open heart. Centered in oneself. Compassionate and loving. Inhale, left hand back, right arm reaches towards sky. Reverse the warrior. And on your exhale, forearm comes onto the thigh. And just pause here for a moment. So you can move your hips back a little bit, forward a little bit, back, until you find that place right in the middle. Then take your left arm, reach it overhead. So a nice clean line from your left heel through the tips of the fingers. And notice how much weight's hanging out on that heel. Just try to only have enough for support. Eventually the gaze looks up towards either the ceiling or the tips of the fingers. Inhale, come on up. Beautiful, turn the feet parallel. Pause. So in so many of the yoga classes these days, vinyasa classes, there's no time between the poses to integrate. So I like to just stop, take a moment to integrate, soften in, let your body sort of catch up with the movement. Then exhale, turn to the other side, reach the arms wide, and on the exhale, bend the front knee. Make sure that back leg is energized. Tendency to overdo the stretch in the arms here. So soften the elbows, soften the wrists. Yeah, let the energy move and flow through from the heart center to the tips of the fingers. Breathe deeply. And inhale, reverse the warrior. Open it up. Exhale, forearm onto the thigh, spin your top arm overhead, and slow, looking up towards the fingertips. Inhale, come on up again. Turn the feet parallel. We'll interlace the hands behind the back, and then inhale, open the chest. Exhale, bow forward. Once again here, you want to make sure the feet are awake, toes spreading, rooting through the four corners of the feet, arches of the feet awake. And that's going to translate through the legs, and then you can get more release in the upper body. Back of the neck long. Beautiful, everyone. Inhale, halfway up here, release your hands to the floor. And we're going to toe heel the feet in a little closer. Turn your toes out about 45 degrees, and then take your inner ankles and use your elbows to open the knees a little bit wider. Yeah. And then from here, you can sway side to side. It's nice to open the inner groins, inner line of the legs, free up the pelvis a little bit. Animals love to do yoga. Whenever I'm doing yoga in the house, my dog comes over and joins me. Great, release the hands back down, and we'll go ahead and walk over to the right and come down onto the back knee, and then we'll straighten out the front leg coming up onto the heel. So when you initially come into this pose, I'm going to square off the hips. So we pull, we dig the heel into the sticky mat. It's going to engage the hamstring, draw the outer hip back, outer right hip back. Then, now you're stabilized. Now you can inhale, lift, and lift the belly up to the heart. Exhale, walk it out, and fold in. Just go to that first layer. Don't be in a rush. Be present with right where you are. It's so interesting, too, to look at how we push ourselves through things, how we want to get to the next pose rather than just being with where we are. So you can watch that tendency, become the observer. Inhale, come back into a lunge. This time take both hands up onto your thigh and reach back. So if your foot isn't available, you're just going to take this open twist. Otherwise, and this is one I like to have a little padding under my knee, especially with these thinner mats. Reach back and take a hold of your foot. Now, you're going to actually squeeze the thighs in a little bit towards each other. just to isometrically get that core connection. Then you want to let go a little bit here. Soften the hips towards the floor. And you should feel a nice opening here in the hip flexors and quad. So if this feels like a good enough stretch for you, you can stay here. If you want to go deeper, reach back with the other hand, and then you'll just move your foot away from your butt. And I'll take you into a nice little back bend. And exhale, release. Beautiful. We'll go ahead and just switch sides. So you can move through tabletop or downward dog if you want to stretch in between. And then other side forward. Yeah. So where are we? Here. You can reach back and take a hold of the foot and get a nice quad stretch here. Oh yes, we missed the hamstring stretch. We'll get that after this. So if it's doable for you, you can take the other hand back, start to push the foot away from the butt. And what you want to be careful of is not to over crunch the lower back. So you're going to keep that tail rooting and the upper back lifting, the ribs lifting up and back. And then just open, soften, open your heart to receive. And then exhale here. Okay, so now we'll come into our runner stretch, half Hanuman. You can see how my hips are right underneath, right over the knee. And then dig your heel until you feel the engagement in the back of the leg. Inhale, look up. And exhale, fold in. So again, don't worry about how deep you get. Let's work on going into that first layer and be present with the sensation. Notice as you go into the body, you might meet physical sensations. You might meet emotional sensations. It's all okay. You want to let it come through, let it come up and out. Be present. Allow yourself to feel what's there. Inhale, we'll come back to a lunge, and then we're going to go ahead and step back and make your way into a child's pose or downward dog, depending on your energy level here. And simply breathe a few breaths. And I want you to just notice your body, how it's feeling compared to the first time you did a downward dog here. Are you noticing more energy? Keep the breath flowing, fluid, particularly those exhalations, grounding in with the exhale. Great. Let's walk the feet together. Inhale the right up to the sky. Now plug the finger pads into the sticky mat and then bend your knee. And don't collapse your left shoulder as you open your hip. So keep the shoulders level, open the hip. And then on the exhale, step all the way through to a lunge. And again, bring the back knee to the floor. We're going to go into a little bit of a deeper hip stretch here. Walk your foot to the right, and then you'll come down onto one elbow or maybe both. And just see where your edge is. So you still want to be able to breathe, obviously. You don't want to push yourself into something where your body gets contorted. You want to be able to maintain stability here. And breathe deeper, softening in. You might want to sway your hips a little bit, go into the deeper sensations, the tension points there in the hip socket, inner groin. Just be curious, explore. And then from here, we'll inhale, and we're going to walk on over. Okay, so you'll come here, widening your knees, and then you'll turn your feet so they're turned straight out. You can see my shins are parallel to each other, so I'm not like too far in or out. Okay, and then from here, this might be plenty for you, and if it is, it's fine. You're just going to stop there. Otherwise, you can come down, okay, and you're going to keep assessing the situation here. Then you might want to play with moving your hips back towards your heels to get a little deeper sensation. I always like to check in with my face and jaw and make sure I'm not holding, resisting by gripping my jaw. Yeah, and then see if these last couple of breaths, you can just go in and feel and allow. One more big in-breath, one more full out-breath. Relaxing the tension. And then inhale, come on up. And we're just going to gracefully walk to the other side. You can scoot your left foot to the outer mat, hands on the inside here. If you got knee padding, with these thin mats, it's really nice. And then you'll take one elbow or both. On this side, I'm tighter, so I'm just going on one elbow. Yeah, and then I'm just going to go in a little slower, meeting the resistance right there in the hip flexor, the inner groin. There's a little bit of your being your own body worker here, so we can't go see our body workers right now. I'm a body worker. I can't put my hands on people, so I've been exploring, well, what is it like to teach people how to be their own body worker? And I realized that yoga has been that for me. It's a way to do my own work on myself, releasing the muscle tension, using the breath really as a sort of release tool. And then we'll inhale, come on up. Great. And then, I'm not sure if we did this side. I think we might have done that already. So then we'll exhale, release, and come all the way back to a downward facing dog. Reaching back. Inhale, slide your chest forward into plank pose. So just work a little bit of core strength here. Belly lifts, heart softens. Legs are strong, and we want to reach back through the heels and forward through the crown. And smile, don't forget to smile. Super important. And then on the exhale, lower knees all the way down to chest. Relax your forehead down, and we'll reach back and interlace the hands behind the back. Follow the exhalation all the way out and curl the tailbone towards the heels. Inhale, lift your head, chest, legs, and feet. Yeah. So the idea here is to keep the thigh bones rolling in, tailbone scooping down. That's going to keep the lower back happy. Lift a little higher with joy. Great, and then exhale, release. Stack your hands, rest your forehead down, and breathe. And we'll take the hands by the chest and press back up onto the knees. So we're going to finish with a back bend and then a couple of forward bends. So Ustrasana, the camel pose. And I would suggest, if you're a little bit newer with this pose, to tuck your toes under like so. And you can see how naturally the pelvis wants, especially in my body, wants to go forward. So you want to avoid that. You want to keep the tailbone lengthening, flesh of the buttocks moving down, lower belly drawing in and up. Once you get that stability, then you can take the hands onto the low back and lift. And this might be enough for you right here. This might be your back bend. That's fine. Try not to let the knees go out, right? So we want to keep the rotation of the thighs moving in, tailbone down. And then those of you who want to go a little further, reach back and take your hands to your heels. Yep. And then you're going to lift the chest, move the hips forward so they're over the knees and open. So to come out of the pose, you want to exhale all the way out. Lead with your chest, inhale, and exhale, sit back, rest your hands on your thighs, and take a moment just to feel what's present. Back bends can be invigorating. I find that if I'm really low energy, feeling a little down, back bends wake me up, they lift me up. Great, everyone. And then we'll go ahead and stretch the legs out from here. And reach back and take the skin of the buttocks and the thigh bones rolling in. I'm going to create a little more grounding through the sitting bones here. And then inhale, reach your arms up, exhale. So as you come forward, just hinge at your hips. And as soon as that stops, you're going to just take your hands down. It doesn't matter how far down you get. You just don't want to round your back here. I'll turn sideways so you can see. But we don't want to do this. We want to keep this. Yeah, lower back is coming in and up. Big toe mounds pushing forward, little toe mounds pulling back. Yeah, and then just breathe. We do a lot of form in yoga, and then we want to let go into the form less. And then we just simply want to breathe and be. Let the intelligence of the body do its work. Two more full Ujjayi breaths, full, long, extended breaths. Breathing in and out through the nose. So the tip of the tongue is resting on the roof of the mouth. And just drop in these last few breaths. Great, and then we'll inhale, come on up, and we're going to lie on our backs. So we'll finish with a bridge pose with the knees bent, feet hip distance apart, parallel to each other. Take a full exhalation. Start to press into the feet and then lift the hips from the pressing of the feet. Keep the thighs parallel as you come up. Interlace the hands and walk the shoulders straight in towards each other. Yeah. And then make sure that the knees don't go wide here. So keep the thighs parallel. And then you want to use the grounding and anchoring of the inner heels to lift the hips even a little bit higher, and just keep the chin neutral. Just try to maintain a little bit of a smile. Another full breath in, and then on the exhale, release. Draw the knees into the chest. Give yourself a squeeze. And we'll take the knees wide, shoulders back, move your tailbone towards the floor. So you bring a little arch into the lumbar spine. You can either stay here or take it into happy baby, where you take the outer edges of the feet. We'll do our hip opener here. Draw the knees toward the outer arms. Good, exhale, release. Go ahead and roll the lower back, just a few more breaths. And then we're gonna take our final pose here, the fish pose. So extending one leg out at a time. Reach the hands under the creases at the top of the legs. Press into the elbows and inhale, come on up. So you'll start by looking here at your toes, and then you wanna puff your chest. Okay, so anyone who has any neck issues, you're just gonna keep your head neutral. Otherwise, you can take the head back. And then if you've done this pose before and you want to go deeper, just bring the head to the floor, walk the elbows in, palms up. And to come out, tuck the hands under, come back up onto the elbows, look to your toes and lie back. And just feel for a moment with that rush of energy, especially through the chest cavity. Let that integrate into your being. We're going to start to rest back into the final corpse pose. So if there's any extra clothing you need, you can put that on, or a blanket. You'll find your way into the full resting pose. So you'll just notice any residual places where you're holding on or tensing, resisting. And you just watch where you resist coming into presence. It's scary. Sometimes it's scary just to be in the present moment. You just have to allow for the emotions and the thoughts to just simply melt away. Feel the witness. You're going to continue to rest and drop inside. Feel the inner stillness. And very slowly you can begin to come back to your breathing. Bring your awareness back into your body fully. Deepening your in-breath, lengthening your out-breath fully. Relax the jaw, the eyes. Come into the present moment as much as possible, being with what is. And as you deepen your breath, you can begin to slowly wiggle the toes and the fingers, stretching the ankles and the wrists. And we'll bend both the knees and roll to one side. Pause on your side for a moment. Make your way slowly up to a comfortable seat, crossing the legs. And then just finish with a little bit of breath work. Tip of your tongue resting softly on the roof of your mouth. We'll inhale in 3 parts. So inhaling right up to the navel and pause. Inhale up to the diaphragm and pause. Inhale all the way up to the collarbones, throat, pause. Smile softly. And a slow, sustained exhalation. Relaxing the body. Inhale again into the belly. Into the diaphragm, front and back sides. All the way up into the heart space and chest, upper back. Exhale, a slow exhalation all the way out, yielding your body, softening into the earth. One more, inhale, a third, pause. Inhale another third, and pause. Inhale all the way, and pause. And exhale. Take a few regular breaths. I find that if we allow ourselves to feel what's there, it's really the doorway to presence. And we have patterning, we're often afraid to be with what is. But see if you can practice over the next few days, slowing it down, feeling what's there, whatever's there, grief, anger, pain. Notice if it gives you a little more access to peace, to presence. And we'll inhale, draw the hands together at the heart center. Take a moment just to seal the practice. Of gratitude. In gratitude, take a bow. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining this practice today. If you want to learn more about me, you can go to my website at AlisonLitchfield.com. Would love to hear from you. These are challenging times. Just know I'm here. And if you're interested in going deeper in your yoga practice, I'm offering one-on-one sessions and free consultations. So I hope you all are doing okay, staying well and safe. Blessings. Namaste.